So time starts in 3, 2, what's 3, 2, 1, go. And we are running. So this is Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. This is just trying to fill in very shortly, kind of short notice. This is a slightly broken N64 racing game. You might have noticed some things whenever I was doing setup. For example, I changed the name to Cap Falcon. That's number one, that's just a cool file name, right? I mean, because we all love Captain Falcon. Totally best Smash character ever. Not, but you know, whatever. So the but that's actually going to be part of RNG manipulation later. I'm just going to tell you that I'm not going to tell you how it works, but I'll tell you that to run this game correctly, you need to be using a memory card, and you need to make sure your file name is 9 characters long, starts with a C, and ends with an N for the RNG manipulation we are doing to get this run to work the way it does. Which is kind of bizarre, but it is what it is. So, how this game actually plays is that you notice that I am doing tricks often to get turbos, and what happens is that every time I do a turbo, it takes my car back to its top speed immediately, so I have to do stunts off of ramps continuously to always have a steady supply of turbos, and I have to manage how many turbos I have so that I can use them at correct points in a track. Essentially, since my turbo takes me back up to top speed immediately, I can use it any time that I lose speed. So for example, whenever I land off of a ramp, I lose speed, so I turbo immediately go back up to my top speed. Also, whenever I turn, I'm losing speed, so I turbo again to immediately get back up to my top speed. So it's just managing how many turbos you have so that you can always be ready to to save time that way and keep at a high speed. This means that actually where most racing games the main factor in choosing which vehicle you want to use, because this game does use multiple vehicles in the run, is not actually our level. It's not the top speed. Each vehicle has a unique top speed. Each vehicle has a unique durability level, or how difficult it is to get to explode. Every vehicle has a stunt factor, meaning that if it's got a higher stunt ability, it can do more tricks. And it also has a handling ability, which means that it will lose less speed on turns. Therefore, we want a vehicle with good top speed, we want a vehicle with good handling, and we want a vehicle with good stunt. We want a vehicle with all three of those things good. On certain tracks, we also want a vehicle that is four-wheel drive, because there are shortcuts in some tracks that are only accessible to four-wheel drive vehicles. So, for example, the car that I'm using now, the Red Baron, is a four-wheel drive car. And this shortcut that I've been going on, that I will get on right now, is actually a four-wheel drive only shortcut. If I drive in here with a two-wheel drive vehicle, you stop moving and you have to back out. So doing this saves us some time. Unfortunately, every race is 6 laps in the tournament mode, the main mode. But that's just the way this works. So, unfortunately, because I'm doing so well, I'm starting to overlap other racers, which is a bit of an issue, because now they could steal power-ups from me. However, this is the last lap. So, see, there we go. A computer exploded. So the power-up I have now increases my top speed to 180, where this vehicle is usually only 163. The blue sphere power-up that I was getting earlier makes my vehicle turn faster in midair. So, unfortunately, because I'm overlapping other racers, and another racer had gotten that power-up before, I wasn't able to do as many tricks off of some ramps. Therefore, I'm coming into the end with less turbos. However, this is the final lap, so it's not really an issue at the moment. And since this is the final lap, I want to use every turbo before I cross the finish line. 5:27. That's a pretty daggone good race, actually. Now, I'm just going to mash the A button. Unfortunately, because I'm doing so well, and this is a skip right here. So, what I just did was I aborted race. If you're wondering what on earth that's about. Also, I'm changing my car now because I want a faster car. Car with different stats that is not four-wheel drive at the moment. And this is the fastest two-wheel drive vehicle available at this moment. Yeah, somebody actually runs this game. Okay. So this is a shortcut here. It saves a bit of time to hit it. So yeah, the panic button, I actually just used it there to, to save some time. But skipping the race, you see that crazy thing with using a memory card and setting the file name to Cap Falcon will mean that second place in the tournament I am currently in will get no more than 48 points overall. And that seems like an odd number, but when you count in that every time I win a race, I get 10 points, and every time I lose a race, I get 4 points. This means that if I win 4 races and lose 2 races, I will get a grand total of 48 points and win the tournament every time. So meaning that I can actually only do so that means that really only 4 races are necessary to be completed. Yeah, 48's an even number. Of course it's an even number. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, there we go. I finally got that trick correct. Oh. But I came out of there awkward. Oh well. 1, 2, 3. So anyway, what I did was every time you begin a race, you actually have the option to just pause and hit abort race. Aborting race means that you lose the race and just take last place without actually finishing the race. So I can do that for 2 races as long as I win the other 4, and therefore win the tournament overall even though I didn't race in 2 of the races. So that's what the RNG manipulation is about. It's skipping 2 races. Also, I'm going to go off track here. This makes sense when you consider... Oh, you guys are just loving my quotes, aren't you? I should just keep giving you quotes. So that's basically the principle behind the speedrun, is that I can skip several races. What I did by going off track there was to get a hidden vehicle. There are 2 hidden vehicles in every track, and one of those hidden vehicles has extremely good stats, and we will be using it through the rest of the run. And because it only takes about 6 seconds to go off course and get, and 1 race alone it saves 10 seconds by using, it's just going to save us a little bit of time overall to use that car. So that is the Rockbuster that we got, and that's why this is considered any percent. There are multiple categories to this game, such as low percent, where we only get we don't get any of the hidden vehicles, any percent where we get the Rockbuster, and 100% where we collect every hidden vehicle in the game. So this is the final lap of this race. And I'm just going to turbo here at the end. Under 4 minutes is a very good time for a race. So now I have the Rockbuster, and I'm going to be using this for the next few races. Three, two, one, go. Also, by the way, you're not supposed to start out going so fast. The reason I do that is I turbo as soon as I start, because you start with 3 turbos. 1, 2, and 3. That's actually a very difficult trick, so that's why I was timing it as I was going. That ramp, to get a triple backflip off that ramp and land perfectly. Yeah. Basically, the only real difference between low percent and any percent is that I'm using the Rockbuster. And because I'm using the Rockbuster, I actually don't have to change menus as often either. So, it's handy. So that was a kind of bad lap, but I got trolled by some of the other vehicles. So anyway, to get this ramp, I turbo at the top, 1, 2, and 3, count down, and then after I count down at the right time, I straighten my car back out. It's actually a very precise little trick there. How much faster is any percent over a low percent? About 3 minutes. Because there's less menuing in any percent, and because I don't have to change vehicles. This doesn't look like Trackmania. I know, whenever I started speedrunning, I just wanted to mainly focus on racing games. That was my goal whenever I started speedrunning. I wanted to speedrun all the racing games. New Game Plus run, that is a category also, using the Twin Mill. Also, never use the Twin Mill 2, use only the Twin Mill. There is a good reason for that. It turns out that the Twin Mill 1 has a slightly smaller hitbox than the Twin Mill 2, which makes several ramps easier to do with the Twin Mill 1, even though they have the exact same stats. By the way, we will unlock the Twin Mill 1 and 2 at the end of this run. Man, this is actually shaping up to be a fairly good race. Let's hope it stays that way. So, unfortunately, I missed the power-up, so I only got a single backflip instead of a double, which puts me out 2 turbos as compared to what I usually would have at this point in time. So I'm going to have to adjust as I go. Oh, come on, I'm never going to run Sonic R. I know who you are. All you Sonic R runners try to get me in, but I'm not going to do it. Yeah, but this was actually the first game that I learned to speedrun. Whenever I started, it wasn't really... It was not really properly routed, and the abort race skip was only used on 1 track instead of 2, like it can be. So, essentially, I took down the record quite a bit. With just better optimization and that sort of thing. So that was a few seconds of time lost there, but we will manage. Mind you, I am... Oh, good night. I would never do Gran Turismo 1 100%. I don't want to do a speed run that takes weeks to complete of solid playing. That's like Baten Kaido's 100%, 2 weeks. Yeah, it is kind of cool that it's like the game does feel like you're playing with Hot Wheels. It is a really cool little game in that respect. 2.5 weeks. Oh, whatever. So this is the last lap for this track. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. I got the triple backflip that time, actually. Nice and steady. Yeah, but this is... Bait and Kaitos 100%. They went ahead and included it in the run, but there is an item in the game that only unlocks by playing the game for 2 weeks. Having the game on for 2 weeks without being in a menu. That's under a 5-minute race. That's a really good time. So keep in mind that we're now on the 5th out of 6 race in the first cup, and this race is actually the most broken because it's got a little bit of a cut here. It's actually got 2 of them. I'll explain it as they go. So if I get my nose into the wall as I pass underneath the checkpoint, I can reset my car and go backwards on the track. However, the track is designed so that you are supposed to race to a point and then race back to the starting line. However, by resetting my car in that exact spot, I just reset back and save about 10 seconds. Also, that reset saves about 4 seconds. This is very close to it. I'm not sure how the timing is. If I do set a new PB, this will be another world record, because I am the world record holder in this game. So, but the run is going pretty well. So I'm not sure on the time that I'm at, though. I did not think to include a timer. Yeah. So yeah, this track is mostly saving time by just resetting my car at the right points. 1, 2, and 3. Also, getting that triple front flip is pretty cool. And then turn my nose, reset. Spooby, yeah. About 17.5 minutes. That's a really good time, actually. This is PB pace then. So hopefully it stays that way. One, 2, and 3. So the main point of RNG in this game is that now I've done these skips so much and saved so much time, even though I'm on the hardest difficulty possible, I can overlap other racers. And since the way this track is designed, that I'll be driving straight at them, so I can run into other racers head-on and explode. So basically that will obviously waste a little bit of time, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Unfortunately, because I'm doing so well, I can overlap racers again. Wow, and I almost hit those guys head on. I dodged... Oh, snap! I dodged 4 of them and hit the 5th, and I hit the final racer 2 times in a row. Oh well. So that wasted a little bit of time. Unfortunately, it just happens. In the world record run, it happened twice, so it happened twice there again. So what can you do about it? Try hard or try home. Bro hard or bro home. I don't know. Whatever. Uh, but this is a fun little speed game. It's kind of one of those games that you wouldn't expect to really make a good speed run, but it really is. So there we go. I avoided all the other cars, and there's only a few seconds left in this race. So yeah, pretty good RNG actually. So we're still doing good. So yeah. Okay, so 450, that's actually a really good time, and because the game's so confused about how fast I went, it said that Snake, who was in front of me on his 5th lap, finished in 451. Meaning that the game thought that Snake finished his final lap in exactly 1 second. We're going too fast for the game. I don't know. Poor game. So now we've unlocked the secret car cup, and I'm going to be starting in this. So there's 3 cups in this game. The longest is the first one, because it's 4 races. This cup is only 2 races, and the final cup is actually a challenge that's only a single race. And I did not like the way that was going, so I just reset my car. Unfortunately, cost a little bit of time, but faster than running into the buzzsaw. So there is a really bizarre strat there that you can get a 720 off of that by going to the right and hitting one of the pillars to force you to do a 7 to cause the collision detection and make you spin extra and get a 1 extra turbo, except it's not worth it. It's not marathon safe. So yeah, through the loops, just use up my turbos. 1 turbo here through the turn since I'm losing speed. And here we go. So a little, unfortunately, slow first lap, but we can definitely make this work. So yep, got the power up, so I'm doing 180. I'm gonna have to slow down a little bit through that turn, but it's alright. Especially since I'm using the power up, so I accelerate faster anyway. Yeah, don't mess up stuff, Mato. Please don't mess up stuff. I don't like stuff messed up. I like stuff working correctly. Also, the power-up that's the pink balls, I don't know why, but they make it so that if you hit anyone, they blow up. It's weird. I don't get it either. Okay, please make it. Unfortunately, with this run, you can lose a lot of time just by missing ramps. So really, a lot of this run isn't racing well, it's doing tricks off ramps well. And just getting consistent at the best trick off of each ramp to get the most turbos. That's really the... Yeah, it sounds exactly like Kirby. That's really the biggest part of learning this run. It's not learning the turns, it's learning the turbo management and the and learning which stunts to do off which ramp, which actually took the most routing out, which is main reason why just my optimization from that actually took minutes off the old world record. So And like I said, the old world record before I started running this game only featured one abort race skip, not two. So the second abort race skip that I implemented saved about 7 minutes. So whenever I started running this game, the time went down quite significantly. This was the first game that I ever learned to speedrun. It's still one of my favorite games to speedrun, just because it was one of my favorite games as a kid, and you know, there's something nostalgic about playing a game that you loved as a kid and just doing it well. And you are all still talking about Kirby. You know, a Kirby racing game was Kirby Air Ride. You know, that did happen, people. Just throwing that out there. Also, if you like Kirby, you should donate for me to play Kirby's Avalanche tomorrow instead of Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. If you don't like Kirby, you should donate to Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine so I don't play Kirby's Avalanche. Just throwing that out there. Also, I'm not sure how my sound levels are. You probably can't hear the music that well. However, the music in this game's always perplexed me, and even more so in the PlayStation version of this game. Most of the skips that I'm doing don't work in the PlayStation version, like the abort race skip and that RNG manipulation doesn't work in it, so that's why I'm playing the N64 version. It's faster. But in the PlayStation version, it has songs that have full lyrics and everything. So the soundtrack for this game is actually artists such as Primus and Metallica, Mixmaster Mike, you know. And I'm sitting there thinking I'm sitting there thinking, you know what, I would love to have been in the boardroom for that game. Whenever they were choosing the soundtrack, they would have been like, so we're going to release a Hot Wheels Turbo Racing game, eh? Yes, who do you think will most likely be ready to buy the game? Oh, probably like 8 to 10-year-old boys. What do little boys like that listen to music-wise? Oh, I think they listen to heavy metal like Metallica and Primus. And it's like, sounds like a good idea. Make sure to include that in the soundtrack. Okay. Yes, Primus is in this game. Primus! So this first lap is kind of bizarre because I need to save a lot of turbos for an upcoming turn. However, I only start out with a few turbos. So the first lap of this race is actually the hardest. But it's alright, we came through just clean. The song they... Oh man, why can't I remember the name of the song that's in this game? It's not John the Fisherman. It's, one they did with the Sand Brothers, I think it is. It was off the Anti-Pop album. I can't remember which one it was, though. So this time I'm coming in with way more turbos, which is going to help me a lot in this section now. And basically I'm going to be using up all these turbos in this split loop and the massive turn. But really, we are doing very well. So I'm quite happy with how this runs went so far. And as soon as I say that, multiple cars run into my back end and send me the wrong direction. But it's alright, because I'm back ahead of them again. Hamster Style, that is it. That is the Primus song that's in this game, Hamster Style. The Metallica song in this game is Fuel. Yeah, this is extremely spur of the moment. We only added this into the schedule like 20 minutes ago, whenever, basically 20 minutes before I started this run, this game was not on the schedule. And I'm doing PB pace right now. I don't get it either. And if I set a new PB, that's a new world record. So basically, I could set two world records in the same marathon, which would be insane. So I'm really hoping. Fuel? Why not battery? So I'm. Yeah, Fuel isn't in the N64 version, unfortunately. It is the opening track, though. Rip stream? Oh, great. So stream is rip. Restreamer, please. Stream went rip. Okay, it fixed itself. Good, good, good. Okay. Well, stream fixed itself, apparently. That's good. That's a good sign. I don't know what's with the lag and everything. It's just happening, apparently. On my end, I'm saying that throughout the entire stream I've dropped 3.40 frames. No, 3.40% frames. And that number's decreasing, so I don't know. It's not spliced. Come on. I don't know what's the issue, but my internet might just be going down. My internet sometimes will get worse in the evenings. So oh, I'm not doing Gulch Stepper. No. No way in the world. Not happening, man. Not happening. I am wanting to try to get world record. That would ruin it. It's not spliced. Okay, cool. Okay. That was a pretty good final race. Well, final race for the Secret Car Cup. Now there's only one cup left. Unfortunately, because I'm doing so well. So now I've unlocked the Twin Mill Challenge. And I've got... This is the final race, guys, so we'll be ready for time here soon. By the way, does anybody in chat or anything can tell me what my time is approximately right now starting this race? PB is 37:59. I don't know. I feel like I'm close to that. It all depends on this final race, but I feel like I'm doing really well. So... Oh, come on. 34 flat. 34 flat at the start of the race. Okay, so it's not happening today, I don't think. This is a fast race, though, but I don't think it's happening. Okay. Daggone it. That would have been cool, though. I am going to be pretty close. I will be under 40 minutes, which is... Actually, no, what am I thinking? It's 38:26. Twin Mill is very OP. So this will be the fastest race yet. But... basically, it has nearly full stunt, it has full speed, it has extremely good handling, it has full durability, and it is four-wheel drive. The Twin Mill 1 and 2 have the exact same stats. So, yeah, we could do a second game then. Okay, yeah. Hopefully that other second game will go as good as this one has, because I haven't practiced that one in forever either. But yeah, the idea was we're trying to fill in an hour, so I was just like, hey, I've got two games that are pretty close to an hour, so... you know, we'll try to get them both in, right? So that was the basic idea. Yeah, I goofed, son. I hit a wall. I goofed. I goofed, I goofed, I goofed. Also, funny story, the orange rod right now is increasing my top speed to 180, even though it's already 180. But... man. Timing ends whenever I, Shut up with those quotes! Timing ends whenever I cross the finish line of this track. On the next lap. So... yep, that's when time ends, and... this is going to be the next lap is the final lap, so basically... ends when the car explodes. So basically this run is going to end in less than a minute at this point. So get ready on that timer. Now. Down, now. Last lap has started. Make sure you're ready on that timer, son. I want to know my final time. Give you a countdown. Countdown for when it ends? That's kind of hard whenever you're, doing it live. Yeah, each lap's over 50. So basically you got 8 seconds. Okay. 3, 2, 1, time! That was end time. Done. It's already done,